There is the bell, and that means soccer is in session. What is up, everybody? My name is Madison Crews, and welcome back. You're getting another doubleheader day. You'll be hearing the girls' episode right now. If you're listening to this right now, then yes, this is the girls' episode, and then later on this afternoon, the boys' episode is going to get posted as well. So it's a full day of previewing for high school soccer here in Georgia. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now I'm going to give you guys a bit of a preview of what you can expect from this episode. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of a recap of what you might have missed from SDH's Tuesday night throwdown, where Northwest Whitfield girls beat Dalton on the road 1-0. Now region play starts this week for high school soccer. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of a preview of what you can expect for SDH's game of the week this Friday. It's going to be a doubleheader. The girls are going to kick off at 5:30, and then the boys will follow after, about 30 minutes after that first game. But it will be North Gwinnett traveling to Peachtree Ridge for their first region game of the season. Now listen, I'm not going to spoil everything for you, so let's go ahead and get into all the content I have for you guys for this episode. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. Soccer is in Session is presented by Kaiser Permanente. Live well and thrive. Let Kaiser Permanente take care of the rest. Hey Atlanta, U.S. Soccer is moving its National Training Center to ATL and hosting our first national team soccer doubleheader. The 9th annual She Believes Cup presented by Visa kicks off Saturday, April 6th at 12:30 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Get your tickets to support the U.S. women's national team against rivals Japan, followed by Brazil versus Canada. Secure your seats today at ussoccer.com/tickets. I repeat, that is ussoccer.com/tickets. Alrighty, so me, Jason, and John were at Dalton on Tuesday for SDH's Tuesday night throwdown. It was a doubleheader between the girls and the boys. Now, Northwest Whitfield beat Dalton 1-0 on the road. It was huge for the girls' team, especially heading into region play, and I got the chance to talk to head coach Isael Gutierrez after the match. Alrighty, so Coach, let's first talk about the girls. A huge win on the road. I mean, how proud are you of them?
I was extremely proud. I think we battled for 80 minutes. I think we had some good chances, a couple of posts that, didn't go in, didn't bounce in. But at the end of the day, the girls battled. I know it's a huge rivalry for them. So I'm excited for them. I'm excited for that last goal that we got in the last 20 minutes, and we just defended well.
And you also mentioned the amount of freshmen that are on your team, including Briar Hall, who is in goal for you. How well did she perform for you in that game?
I think the biggest thing is, with the keeper is a clean sheet. And I think she got that. Experience is the biggest thing going into region next week. Kirsten on the right side, we got beat a couple times, but we talked about it at halftime. She made adjustments. She improved. And it's a big thing, like I said, with these freshmen, regardless of this season, it's a program thing. It's a program thing, so we're excited for them.
Absolutely, and you're moving on to conference play next week. Mm-hmm. What are you going to take from this game and then going forward into region play?
It's just important 80 minutes. Like I said, we go up 1-0 with 20 minutes left. We defend for our lives the last 10 to 15, but we still create some decent chances. And that's the biggest thing. 80 minutes, not 70, not 60. 80 minutes, it will secure the victory.
Now, moving right along, I'm going to give you guys a preview for SDH's game of the week, which will be tomorrow, Friday, March 1st, at Peachtree Ridge, where North Gwinnett will be traveling to face off against Peachtree Ridge. It'll be boys and girls. Girls will be at 5:30 p.m., boys will be at 7:30 p.m. Now, for the girls, North Gwinnett is coming into the matchup with a record of 5-0-1. On Saturday, March 24th, they tied against the reigning state champs at Roswell, 2-2. And Peachtree Ridge is coming in to the match with a record of 3-1. And they are trying to regain their momentum after losing to Northview 2-1. And I had the opportunity to talk to Peachtree Ridge's head coach for girls soccer in Ashley Veljovic. And I also got to talk to North Gwinnett's girls head coach Ryan Burkhart. I was able to talk to both of them about the upcoming region game and how both of them are hoping that the weather isn't going to be as bad as it has been in years past. Alrighty, so after the loss against Northview, you guys lost 2-1. What were some of the lessons you took from that game and you're going to take with you for the rest of the season?
I think definitely, that was a kind of a frustrating game. We were missing one of our key players, and we, possessed majority of the time and did a lot of good things. But sometimes it's hard to, see that when you don't get the result. So I think for us as a team, what we realize is you really got to be clinical in your when you have opportunities, you've got to make them count. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how much you possess the ball or how many passes you complete. At the end of the day, it's who puts the ball in the back of the net. And I think that's something that we've got to be a little more clinical in the final third and a little more, hungry and wanting to, get on the board and not just more reactive.
Absolutely. And now moving ahead, you guys have your first region game this Friday. It's huge, going to be against North Gwinnett. What is the energy going into this first region game?
Oh, I mean, I think it's huge. It's huge because, this is our last year that this is going to be our region like this because of the classification changes. So, we will still have North in our region, but all the teams that are currently in it won't be. So I think that's huge. It's exciting. They beat us last year at their place, so I know we're hungry, and I just know that the energy will be high, and it should be a really, really good matchup. A good game with two good teams.
And you mentioned in the first question and then this one too about that hunger for your team to have. Have you guys been working on that in practice, trying to instill in them to get them ready for these games, to get them fired up and ready to go?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think there's got to be a certain standard and intensity in training. Otherwise, it's not going to show up in the games. So, as coaches, we're trying to create activities and drills that kind of foster that environment. But at the end of the day as well, it's got to come from the players. And I think the girls have done a good job kind of stepping up and kind of taking a little more leadership when it comes to what's actually going on the field.
Now, looking ahead, especially for the rest of the season, obviously the goal is to make the state championships, and you also have a group of girls who might even try to go to the college level after this as well. What has that been talking with them about it, like just their development throughout high school as well as moving on to the collegiate level?
I think that's what's kind of really neat about high school is it's not like club where if you have the most elite team, every kid's going and competing at the next level. In the high school environment, you have that range. You have some kids that are there just because it's fun. You have some kids that play club but don't have aspirations to play collegiately. And then you have some kids that are currently playing club and already committed or looking to compete at the next level collegiately. So the balance is definitely interesting and trying to manage and kind of keep everyone happy and motivated. But currently we have 4 of them committed with about 2 or maybe 3 more that are also trying to commit. So it's definitely like a fun, exciting group where we do have a lot of competitiveness and a lot of quality players that are looking to, compete at that next level.
If you don't mind me asking, who are the girls that have committed and where will they be going?
So we have 2 girls going to Young Harris. That's Betsy Boo and Megan Goolsby. We have 1 girl going to Cumberland. That's our goalkeeper, Sierra Johnson. And then Malia Burks, our center back, she has just committed to North Georgia.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And it's going to be a lot of fun, especially tomorrow. We're all very excited to get to come up there and broadcast this match. It's going to be so fun. We're doing the boys and the girls. It's going to be so fun. First region game. It's going to be energetic. It's going to be crazy. But I think the last thing that I want to ask you, Coach, is people who watch this podcast, they're really interested in high school soccer and the development of the game at the high school level. What is something that you want SDH fans to know about your program?
I think at sometimes, high school coaches, we get a bad rep, especially kind of from the club world. And I'm a coach that's been on the club side and the high school side. And I think for us as a program, we treat our high school program just like a club program. We're trying to develop. Yes, results are important, especially when it gets into region games, because that's what dictates if you have a future after the season or not with playing for a state title. But ultimately, we're just trying to develop the student athletes, obviously as people, but as players as well, and just trying to get the most out of them that we can. And we kind of accomplished that by, trying to get the right mindset, pushing them physically, mentally, utilizing a variety of different drills and things that maybe they hadn't seen before, and kind of coach that whole player and person, not just the X's and O's, but the character and the resiliency and things like that. And obviously the academics, because if, unlike club, if they're not academically pulling their weight, like they can't play. So I do like the fact with high school, to me, it's more similar to college in regards to that as the whole student athlete, the whole person. So I don't know. I mean, we're excited. We're super excited. And like I said, we've got a great group of girls. We're heavy on seniors, but we also have some really young, fresh talent as well. So, we're just excited for a great matchup, and hopefully we can give you all a good game.
Alrighty, Coach. So let's talk about the game last Friday where you guys tied versus Roswell 2-2. What was your overall thoughts on that match, and moving forward, what needs to be done in order to secure a win?
So I'm really good friends with the head coach of Roswell too. And so, we hadn't played each other we hadn't really played each other, I guess, since we both moved up here. And I mean, her team's been great. We all like to have early season tests. So they tested us. I mean, obviously they're coming off their state championship in 6A. So we were challenged. I mean, they scored in the first 60 seconds, and I kind of thought in my head, it's gonna be a long day, and maybe this is the game that we need. But I think also a theme that I'm starting to see with this group of girls is that they responded in kind. I mean, I think they played really well after that first goal, and we ended up getting one back in the middle of the first half. And Roswell, it's just, I mean, they're so quick, and they're a possession-based team. And that was part of our game plan, was to give them that, to let them have the ball on their half at least. So, looking back at the stats, they had, tremendous possession and a lot of the ball. But and then I think what might be in my coaching career might be the longest time between the first and the last goal. They scored in the first minute, and then they scored with 2.5 minutes left in the game. And again, I'll give them all the credit in the world. We scored 20 seconds later and tied it 2-2, and then just kind of saw the game out. So, I mean, just a tremendous team is Roswell was. And to earn a 2-2 result like that, when you could have very easily, especially in the first minute of the game, bowed your head, I was really proud of them. And so I think it's a good building block for us early on in the year.
Absolutely. And especially with a game like that being down 1-0 and then being able to come back and tie it up and have that shows great resilience and great challenge for your team going into especially your first game in region play.
Yeah, and I think that was the point, especially early on this week. We had some really hard sessions, and I really pushed them, and I kind of told them, that old line you use all the time is nothing matters up until this point. There's no awards for how your record at the beginning of the year. All that matters is your record's going to say this and this, and in the little parentheses, it's going to say this number and this number, and that's the only number that matters. I think I've used this line a million times too, but if we play 6 region games, I don't care if we go 6-12. Those are the 6 we have to win.
Moving on ahead to this weekend, it's a doubleheader between the girls and the boys. You guys will be facing off against Peachtree Ridge High School, going on the road to face them, first region game. What was your message to the girls leading up to this match, and what are your expectations going into it?
Peachtree Ridge is, Coach Ashley's a great coach. They're gonna be very well coached. They're gonna be prepared for us. They're gonna know, everybody on our field and what we're gonna try to do. And last year's game, it's lining up to be very similar weather situation. Last year we played them. It was chilly. It rained the entire time. We had some chances in last year's game to at least extend it to like two goals and kind of maybe calm the game down a little bit. And we got a goal in the middle of the first half, and credit to Peachtree Ridge, we never got a second, and it was just, we've had to fight tooth and nail the entire game, and they had chances to tie it pretty late that we got lucky, or our goalkeeper made a good save here and there. So I just told them this is a whole nother level. However hard a team is going to play in a regular game, they're going to bring even more. And if we don't meet that, no matter what we've done, again, none of this matters what we've done. Maybe it's mentally prepared us and it's physically prepared us to know that we can do these things, but now we have to do it. Like now we have to, and these games matter more. So just kind of getting them ready for a good fight, a well-prepared team, and trying to just keep them hungry, let them know like this is when you actually start earning things. So I hope that, I think that message has gotten across them, because we usually have 2 games a week sometimes. And we purposely, put an off day. We didn't play Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. So we pushed them pretty hard on Monday and Tuesday. So we're hoping that gets them ready.
I know that we're excited about coming there and getting to broadcast both of the matches for you guys, the boys and the girls. It's going to be a lot of fun. I guess one of my last questions for you, Coach, is in Soccer's in Session, we kind of go over everything from soccer from all over Georgia for high school soccer, just to expand the game a lot more. What is something that SDH fans should know about North Gwinnett girls soccer?
So this is my second year here. I was in Middle Georgia for a few years. I went from Warner Robins, Northside High School, and then I was at Norcross for 8 years. And that school's great, and that soccer program's still rolling. So here, it was a different challenge. So I'm coming into North. They've won two state championships in 2010 and 2019. And then since COVID, they kind of, just had some bad luck and injuries here and there. And I think it's a program that it's refinding itself. A lot of the girls who were in this, they were the senior group last year and then the senior group this year. So these upperclassmen girls, they remember it. Like they have memories of being in 8th and 9th grade and those incredible teams coached by Jeff Becker. And, they're hungry to get back for it. They're hungry, that we got a taste of playoffs last year. We got a playoff win. And they want more. And we've had that taste and I'm sure that you guys know and talk about it on your podcast a lot. There's just nothing like high school soccer. I mean, just the pomp and circumstance and the crowds and the electricity of a region game and especially playoffs. They're hungry for to reestablish what North Gwinnett soccer is. And I'm glad that they're having this success. I mean, it's really all on them. They're putting the work in and it's showing.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, Coach. I really do. And we're really excited to get to be there tomorrow and get to be a part of your first region game.
I'm excited about it too. Whatever you guys can do to help the weather out, do some opposite of rain dances so we can.
We will. We'll bring the energy. Hopefully it won't be raining.
Yeah.
Just want to say a huge thank you to head coach Ashley Veljovic as well as head coach Ryan Burkhart for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it. It was so fun getting to talk to them about the importance of this matchup for both of their sides. And yeah, I know everyone here at SDH is really excited to get to do both of these games. It's going to be so fun. And just as a reminder, it'll be North Gwinnett at Peachtree Ridge. The girls will play at 5:30 p.m. and the boys will be at 7:30 p.m. And you can listen to the match on soccerdownhere.mixler.com. Now, before I close it out, a quick word from our sponsors once again. Soccer is in Session is presented by Kaiser Permanente. Live well and thrive. Let Kaiser Permanente take care of the rest. Hey Atlanta, U.S. Soccer is moving its National Training Center to ATL and hosting our first national team soccer doubleheader. The 9th annual She Believes Cup presented by Visa kicks off Saturday, April 6th at 12:30 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Get your tickets now to support the U.S. women's national team against rivals Japan, followed by Brazil versus Canada. Secure your seats today at ussoccer.com/tickets. Again, that's ussoccer.com/tickets. Thank you so much for checking out this installment of Soccer is in Session, and make sure you guys come back next week for a brand new episode for both the girls and the boys, and be sure you subscribe to Soccer Down Here wherever you get your podcast. You can catch it there. You can also listen for free on the Soccer Down Here app, and you can download that in your app store. You can also check us out at soccerdownhere.net. My name is Madison Crews. You also can find me on social medias with Madison Crews 7 on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and I'll see you guys next time.